Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. I think about what day of the week it is anymore. I'm gonna try to get set up here on my phone. Actually, if I click that, what does it do? I'm trying to figure out how to not have a delay between any comments that you guys post and being able to read them, because I feel like it's a little bit off. So, good morning, Becky. Just getting set up here. Hopefully. Today we're going to talk about paper masking, but I've got a couple things first to go over. Okay, we're still delayed. This one's, oh wait, here, let's try this. All right, good morning. Hi, Becky. So it looks like it's working better on my phone now than it was doing on my computer. So you guys, First Friday is tomorrow, and I need to turn off my event for the shop, obviously, but what I am gonna do is do a email. So a couple things real quick I'm gonna show you. So if you go to the website blackdogpottery.net, you'll get this little pop-up here, and I have a super awesome web designer, Lindsay, and so she's been gracious enough to be like, every time I email her, I'm like, can we make this change? Can we make that change? So if you click on the shop online button here, let's see if it'll do this. Yep, there it goes. I have set up a little spot here. Hang on, scroll down, right here. So if you want to join the email list, I'm going to be sending out a First Friday goodie tomorrow via all the email people I have signed up. And then also, we do still have our, you can order an e-gift card. You can also print those out once you get them or purchase them to put in an Easter basket or something like that. And then the donation for the sticker link is there too. So if you go there, you can do a donation, and then all the donations for those will get a sticker, and then also a 10% off coupon in the mail with the sticker to use when we open back up. So you just go to blackdogpottery.net and then hit the shop online button, and then that will take you to where you can sign up for the email list. And so I'll send out an email tomorrow morning for First Friday, and then all the other goodies are there too. That might change because once this is all over and I sit down with Lindsay, we are probably going to end up restructuring our website a little bit because how just everything has changed so quickly in the last couple weeks. I've got my Mountain Goat coffee here this morning. Mountain Goat coffee is out in Packwood. It's one of my favorite little spots to stop at out there. So yeah, I'm gonna have a drink of coffee real quick. I don't know, guys, this weather is, it's kind of depressing. Not that we're not already all depressed just hanging out at home, but you look out the window and it's raining. I did really well on Tuesday when I was unloading all the dirt, and then it started raining on me and I went in, and I didn't make it back out there yesterday because every time I looked out the window it was sunny, and then it was really dark and gloomy. I don't know, this is crazy weather. I felt more uplifted last week when it was sunny more consistently. So anyways, I got my coffee this morning. We are going to start doing Freestyle Friday, which means it doesn't have to be a pottery related tutorial. So that might start tomorrow. It might still have a pottery related thing to it, but if anybody has something that's not necessarily a pottery related project, but just like a fun art/craft project they want to do, I'm probably going to focus on Easter a little bit more heavily, maybe tomorrow and next week, since next Sunday, the 12th, is Easter, and I feel like, is it snowing? What is happening? I don't know. I think it might be snow and rain mix. Okay, so that's a mess. So anyways, I will be, I think I can hear my phone. Okay. So if you have any projects you want to see that are not pottery related, I can try to put something together for that. Quick drink of coffee, guys. Hope you guys are all enjoying your morning. Okay, so paper masking. I have pre-painted just a basic mug here with just yellow paint. It is called, because I know you guys all want to know, Smiley Face. It's the 01 color. So it's going to be really bright and fancy. Hang on, I'll show you real quick. So it's this really bright yellow color here. So we've done paper masking a few times at the shop, and there's been samples around the shop too. So I'm going to show you a couple quick pictures that we use paper masking for. So if you did this class not this last Christmas, but Christmas 2018, so we painted the whole mug green and then used paper trees and put down. So we're going to do basically the same thing today. And then the red truck plaid background plate class that is so popular, that's using a paper masking technique. And then I'm also going to show, this is me last year doing at the Gare Fest in Bellingham. So we're going to do this quick Washington State thing real quick. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. All right, Washington State, there. I'm going to show you how to do that one real quick too. This one, I was having a little bit more difficult time relating it to a non-pottery project, but I wanted to just go ahead and do it. So at the shop, I do have some paper punches that are different shapes. This one's just kind of like a flowery type thing. And I have a basket full of other ones. If you guys have paper punches at home or have a paper design, I also have a Sizzix, the thing that you like and it goes through and it cuts. Really whatever. Okay, stop talking about that because I'm getting crazy. So I also have a Sizzix thing at the shop. So I have a few different patterns you can cut out of designs and stuff like that, and I can show you how to work on those. This all is relatable to that. I'm using some bigger, like this is the flower shape. So these are a little bit easier to use. I'm gonna go ahead and flip you down real quick and show you my project. So for this project, I'm going to need water and then a painted pottery surface. So that's why I went ahead and painted my, actually if I do this, my mug yellow, so you didn't have to wait for that. So you want that to be fairly dry. You can see there's not much of a glaze to it, or a shine to it, so that means it's pretty dry. And then what we're gonna do is just dunk the paper into the water, and you want it fairly wet, not like sopping runny wet. And then it's going to just stick down, and you can use a sponge that apparently has some stuff on it. Use a sponge and kind of just press the pieces down. I'm going to do that a couple times because I have a few little flowery dudes. And I'm going to lay him up there and maybe do one more. And then, so I did that one kind of off. Maybe I'll do one more kind of off. Get them wet and then just stick them down, hanging off the edge there. I'm probably not going to do all of these on the camera just for the sake of time. But once you have that, I'm going to go ahead and switch colors to 35. And which is going to be a bright, dark pinky color. So 35 is this guy. Since we're going over the yellow, I want to do something a little bit darker. So just like when we did the paper mask or the masking tape, I'm going to pull out like so. And pull out from that guy. And I'm going to do this really quick, but again, you're going to want, unless you want the streakiness of the yellow to shine through, which might not be that bad of an idea for just however you want to do this, you're going to want to do 3 coats. So I'm gonna go back to this guy real quick. Let him dry just a smidge so you can see how I just am starting in the middle and pulling out. Because if I pull in, I might catch one of those little petals, and then that's gonna defeat the purpose of masking. So I'm gonna focus on this guy, but I'm gonna keep painting around real quick while it's drying a little bit more. And again, you can use any shape. If you have like a paper or a Cricut or something at home and you want to cut out a shape, you can bring stuff into the shop and do that. It doesn't have to be something we already have. I have people do some of that. Some people do that often. So I'm gonna go back and do another layer on here, just so it's a little bit darker. And I just kind of put my hand inside the mug and work it around. All right, so for the sake of what I'm doing, I think I have enough coats around the outside of this flower. And then I'm not gonna worry about the other ones right now. And once I have enough coats and it's dry enough, I'm gonna take, you could take your wooden skewer. I'm just gonna use this little dotting tool and pick up an edge without trying to dig in. Okay, I'm not doing that very well. Let me try, oh here. Thank you, Sarah. So the little, what do we call these? Writer bottles at the shop? They have pins in them. So they're a great thing to use to pick up the edges. So when we peel that up, we have the shape. And then you can elaborate on these a little bit more if you want. I'm gonna do some purple real quick and just show you kind of an idea of what you can do with this. I'm just gonna use a little bit of purple, and then, not you, then just a really tiny brush and make this more of a flower shape. However you want. You can keep building out petals if you want. I'm just gonna do this. I'm doing this real quick so you guys can kind of get an idea for something fun to do, to use this shape. So you can just obviously keep going around, do some on the inside. You can even, if you wanted to have like a center of a flower, make sure heat works. Okay, hang on. Move that guy over. Okay, so I'm gonna lay this down because it's hard for me to hold this up and show you what I'm doing. So you can also just kind of put some dots, kind of make a center of a flower. This is kind of just really sketchy looking, but you can see if I keep going around with the purple and then have the center of the flower, that just make a cool design. So this is a pretty simple way of using the paper masking technique. And I just wanted to show you guys that you can just take regular plain paper, that's regular just plain printer paper, and then dipped in, it has to be put onto a pre-painted surface. So if you wanted a white background, you would need to do, just paint it white. It won't stick to the bisque, the plain bisque. But I'm gonna show you another option real quick. And that's just gonna be onto a coaster here. So I'm gonna grab a new palette because mine actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Guys, I'm hungry today, so that means I am not focused. So I'm gonna take this Washington State, and I'm actually not going to dip it in water, but I am going to paint it backwards. If I put that down there. So I'm gonna take some greens, some 42s and 04. So I'm going to take some of these green colors, obviously. They're all the greens I have. And put some down. And I'm going to do this on the bisque. I might actually try this on the paper too, just for the fun of it, just to kind of give you an idea. And so let's see if you can see my greens. All right, so I just have some green colors there. And I'm going to just take a couple paint brushes and paint this. So again, I'm painting the back side of it. So the Washington State, this is kind of hard for me because you guys are mirrored. So when I'm looking at this, the Washington State's going the wrong direction. And so I'm just gonna paint all over some different greens. I don't even need different paint brushes. Because our state is green, and you can see how brush strokey I'm doing. So it's got really a lot of brush strokiness to it. I might have needed to paint the thing first, but we'll see what happens. It's an experiment. It's been a while since I did this. Okay, so you can see how, let me add a little bit more up here. So you can see how that is all kind of brush strokiness. And I just kind of globbed it on. I'm just gonna lay that on top. So now I'm going to flip it over and put it right into the center of this coaster. And just kind of spread it out. Press it down, more like. Press it down so it's stuck. So now what I can do is I'm gonna take like 87, which is just a light blue color, kind of a background, and take another brush. I'm using all my brushes. I'm just gonna take this big giant fan brush because they do pretty good as far as spreading out paint color. And I'm just, again, starting in the middle and pulling out. So, because I don't want to peel up any of the paper. So start in the middle, pull out away from the paper. Oh my gosh. The fan brush is so big, I'm trying not to grab other paint colors. All right. So that's some good coverage. And then actually what I'm gonna do for that background, because this might be a little bit easier, is grab another color like a 96 and the 07 at the same time, and use a sponge and kind of dab it on. Oh, that was a lot. Okay. So I'm just gonna use a sponge, and I can put my finger down right over the top because that's just the paper, and kind of go around the outside, or go around the outside. I say kind of a lot, and it's kind of like, this is what I'm doing. It's not what I'm kind of doing. Getting used to talking. So, and I'm gonna go back. So we're kind of doing like a blue pea and dub type situation. And I did the darker blue around the outside, and then I'm focusing the lighter blue back closer to the middle area, so there's more of a contrast. And so it's kind of where I'm going to leave that. It is where I'm going to leave it. It's not kind of where I'm going to leave it. I just talked about that, right? So I'm going to now pull up my Washington State, use my pen, and see how, this is why I did all the brush strokiness. So that kind of gives the texture. We've got some mountain stuff going on. when this fires, it's going to be pretty cool. Probably what I'm going to do, I won't do this the whole thing for the sake of time on the camera, but I'll take my Black Rider bottle here, which feels like it hasn't been used in a while. If you wanted to, you could, and maybe I should have done this, painted the background like the light green first and then did that, so you'd have less of the white area. I don't necessarily mind the white area, but then I'm just going to take my Rider bottle and outline Washington real quick. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but you can see how I'm just going to outline it. I'll post a picture later of what it's all going to look like when I'm done, and obviously you can go back and elaborate a little bit more. I do like the texture. You can, again, like if you wanted to do more of like tans and greens or tans and brownies over here, just because we're Eastern Washington, it's drier and there's more fields, and darker. I thought about doing like dark blue mountain range right through here. So that's another idea for paper masking. I didn't get the paper wet because the paint was already wet, and I probably could have pushed down a little bit more to get more of the coverage, but this basically gives you the idea of what I'm going for. So this is kind of a fun coaster set that you could do, and then here's the other one right here that we already did, so the yellow flowers with the pink. And so now I'm gonna just flip you up real quick. Hello. Okay. So I need to clean off my space a little bit. All right. So let me pull out my trusty notepad. I was working on some other ideas yesterday. So let's go back. And I'm just gonna do a couple quick things. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna punch out a couple flowers real quick. So just to show you an idea, this is gonna be a really the other thing you could do, so like the Washington State. Let me show you how I got that. How did I get that? I have a Washington State cookie cutter, so that's what I laid down it on the paper, traced it out. I don't know where it went, but I had a Washington State cookie cutter just last night. I'm sure it walked away. So I just traced that out. So you can, another option for getting some sort of paper decal is by just printing out an image online. Obviously, the more intricate it is, the more delicate it will be when you are dipping it in the water. There's ways, like obviously you can be really patient and work around that. There's a couple I did at the shop. I had, at Christmas time specifically, I have this one tray that a lot of people have commented on, so you may have seen it, that has like a reindeer pulling a sleigh that's got a lot of design. It took me a little bit to get all that design laid out, but it is there, so that's another idea. And hopefully, my goal in buying the Sizzix was to have kind of like a catalog of different images that could be used that you could just pick from. But again, if you want to bring in your own piece of paper or cutout or something like that, that works. So this is the option for doing it on pre-painted. So if you want a colored background, you want to use paper masking, which is water. If you've got a really dry background, or if you just want to do it on plain bisque, you're going to want to use like contact paper or the masking tape like we talked about. It needs to be really, really dry, which is why it sticks the best to the plain bisque. So I'm going to grab, I like to use my paper plates when I'm using the paint. I don't know why, it just seems like a good idea. And so I'm gonna grab a paper plate real quick, have a drink of coffee, and clean off my brushes so I can use them again. So I've got another Washington State here that I'm going to try out on my paper once I get my brushes cleaned. So again, I'm just wondering, maybe I'll use the watercolors, which they'll be a little bit less messy. So I'm gonna do two different options. for just the non-pottery thing, and I'm kind of just making these up on the fly. So I'm hoping this is gonna work good, but it's like my experiment day. Every day has been an experiment day, guys. So I don't know why I even say that it's like an experiment day. Just cleaning my brushes real quick. How's everybody doing today? I feel like this is my first, so last Thursday was my first day after we had to close the shop. And so this is my first official week. I've gone places. I'm working on a garden, so I've had to run to Home Depot and get some wood and stuff like that. But mostly I've been home cooking. Yesterday I made bean soup. So I got my paintbrushes clean. I just clean them like I showed you, and then I just have a washcloth here that I am drying stuff off with. That's what I'm doing over here. So I'm going to flip you down real quick, and I'm going to show you first of all this pretty quick, easy idea of using just on plain paper. And that's just by taking the markers, smelly markers. Here we go again, guys. I'm not going to smell them this time. Oops. Travis was like, how'd it go today? And I'm like, well, I spent about 10 minutes sniffing smelly markers. So, you know, that's what's happening in my life. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is a way you can use paper masking if you're working with little kids, especially. So I just laid my, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit more of a shadow. I laid my little flower shape piece of paper, and I'm just going to go out again, starting in the middle and pulling out. You can do this with all kinds of different things. I was trying to decide the best way to do this. I'm going to use yellow and orange. And so you can do this with like an Easter egg shape and use green if you wanted to. And then have it kind of be hiding in the grass. And then I'm going to do, this could be a sunshine, but as I'm doing this, I'm thinking maybe it's going to be more like a lion. I don't know. Let's draw a quick little lion face. What does a lion look like? This pen doesn't work. All right, here's a lion. So you can do that, if different type of shape if you want. And then I'm gonna try it again with the watercolors. And I'm trying to think, I'm gonna paint it onto a non-porous surface first. And because we're using the, again, if we're gonna put it down, so we want to paint the back side, so the side we're gonna press down. And I'm just gonna use the green. I need some water. The green. It's gonna be quite a bit more pastel-y. Hopefully I can have it be wet enough. I'm gonna also use some black. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm working quickly. If you use different type of paint, like a tempera paint, it probably would work better. I don't know if this is gonna work. Okay. So now that I have that, I'm just gonna flip it over onto my paper and press it like I did. Making sure it's all down, and I actually might just take my marker while I do this and outline it real quick. That way, if it didn't go all the way, but we have some imprint. This random cookie cutter is not the best Washington State, but all of us Washingtonians know what we're looking at, right? All right, so what we're hoping for is that the wetness transferred down onto the paper. So, moment of truth. Ta-da! It kind of worked. If you use like the tempera paint, which I don't really have, I just have the thicker acrylic paint, which probably would still work for this, but not as well. So I'm gonna flip you back up real quick. So there's my Washington. Just kind of gives a really kind of cool watercolor effect. And obviously it didn't fill in all the places, but I still kind of like it. Kind of is fun. So those are my paper masking ideas for not on pottery. It obviously works. I understand the way that works on pottery like way better, and it's easier for me to explain that. But if anybody has any other ideas on how to do paper masking for just regular paper, or make it more of a fun idea for kids, that would be great. So I was just trying to put the pin back in there. So yeah, that was today's video. I am right on time. So just kind of made a few fun things. Again, if you guys are just joining, I am, tomorrow's First Friday at the shop, and we always try to make it a little bit fun. However, we're not obviously there. So go to our website, blackdogpottery.net, and when that little pop-up comes up, hit shop online, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's a spot to sign up for the email list, and when you do that, tomorrow morning I'll be sending out a little First Friday goodie via email. So go ahead and do that. And then yesterday I talked about the private group. So I've now got Black Dog Pottery VIP, and it's a private group. You have to request to join, and then one of us will approve your request. And so yesterday we did a Zoom meeting. We had a couple people join us. So we just kind of hung out and chatted about everything, and this time's kind of depressing with all of us just being at home and not having a lot of contact with other people. So we just chatted, drank coffee, was creative, or maybe Nicole actually was there and she was just working, but having someone to just kind of talk to. So I think we'll do that again at least next Wednesday, if not before. If anybody else is interested and would like to do it sooner, just comment on below on the video here, or send us a message, and we can do that again sooner than later. I thought it was really fun. It kind of just we were able to just kind of hang out. I don't know if you've Zoomed before, but it's just it's more of an interface where you can see everybody's faces, and everybody can talk, not like this where I can only talk and you guys can just type and text me a bit, basically. It's more of a two-way interaction, which is I think helpful for people right now, because we need to have more interaction. Our bodies and our souls and our minds are longing for more interaction. So yeah, that was it. Tomorrow, again, Freestyle Friday. So if you guys have any ideas that you don't want to see on pottery, or isn't pottery related, just go ahead and do a shout out, and I'll try to put something together, and we'll go from there. And I've got a few other requests. So I did post the thing yesterday on Facebook also about if you guys have any ideas, you can list it there. So I've had tissue transfer come up, so a little bit more specific on having to do that process. Galaxy come up. What else was there? There's a few other things. Painting cactuses was an idea that was thrown out. So if you guys have anything specific that you want to see or learn how to do, go ahead and comment on there, or feel free to comment while we're doing the video. So yeah, I hope everybody has a great day. It's Thursday, one more day till Friday, which I don't even know if that makes a difference anymore. Is Friday exciting for people, or is it just another day? Might as well be Monday. So it's exciting for me because Travis is still working, so at least I know he'll be home on Saturday. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Happy coffee. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.